This is Matt for Behind the Gloves in association with S-Jam Boxing. I'm delighted to be joined by super bantamweight Hopey Price. Hopey, nice to see you here. You're at fight camp, back where you were last year.
Yeah,
you managed to get the win.
Time flies, yeah. I was just saying a minute ago, it seems 2 seconds ago since we was here, and now the next fight comes happening, so time flies.
You've not actually got a confirmed opponent yet. I think they're still trying to work all them sort of fine details out for you. Do you have any idea of when that'll be?
I have no idea, no. I think they've probably got a few people in mind, but obviously that's down to them, down to Dave, down to Eddie. I only found out yesterday that I was actually coming down here, and I actually was boxing off fight camp. I was supposed to be boxing on the 25th in Italy, but that's been put back, so I'm happy though. I'm happy to be boxing on fight camp, and happy to be back here, and obviously be the first fight since the crowd is back, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Yeah,
there's going to be, from what I've heard, about 300 fans here, maybe a few more depending on restrictions and stuff like that. How did you find it last time boxing here? Because obviously it was a big stage whilst everyone was obviously getting used to lockdown. How was the experience here last time?
You know what, I think the experience was very different to usual shows. Obviously there was no crowd, but apart from that, you know, the whole setup, as you can see, it's an unbelievable setup. So to put a ring in here, I thought last year that it will carry on, like they will do more shows in the future back here, so it'll be good to have the crowds back and obviously put on a good performance again, get the win again.
You've got obviously a very good amateur background. Are you finding it hard to maybe get opponents because of your style? And obviously the guy you fought in fight camp last time, a lot of people thought maybe a little bit too soon while you've only had a few fights, and you controlled the pace of the whole fight, and it was a shutout victory for you. Are you finding it difficult to get opponents?
Yeah, it is difficult, you know, obviously obviously I'm young, so I don't want to rush too much, but in a way I've got to take little steps each fight and step up quicker than usual. Obviously in this pandemic you've got to step up and take a bit better fights, so I don't mind taking the step up, but obviously I've still got to realise I'm only 21, so I've just got to take my time and keep progressing each fight and get where I want to be eventually.
Absolutely. How many times you wanting to get out this year? Obviously fight camp, ideally when you get an opponent ticked off, you wanting to get out twice more after or once more after?
Yeah, personally I'd like to box here in fight camp, and then I think the Josh Warrington rematch maybe in Leeds, in my hometown. So if it is at Headingley Stadium, I'd love to have a big fight there in my hometown in Leeds. I think especially if all the crowds is back there as well, it'd be unbelievable to box in my hometown. I haven't boxed there since being probably 11, so it'd be very good to do so.
Yeah, I think they're hoping to get that back on at Headingley. I know there was some issue, I think, with whether it was the council or whoever it was.
Yeah, I think it was the Leeds council. I think back in, I don't know, maybe for this month I think they tried, or next month. But, hopefully that gets resolved and get the thumbs up, and we can have a big show there in Headingley.
Yeah. You're from a travelling background, most people know that.
Yeah.
What have you made of everything that's gone on with like Billy Joe Saunders and his attempt to obviously challenge pound for pound #1 Canelo Alvarez? What did you make of his performance out in the States?
Do you know what? When you was watching, obviously it was nip and tuck up until he got hit with that good shot off Canelo. Obviously, he damaged his eye, and I see a few people obviously criticising Billy Joe and obviously saying about how he quit and this and that, which personally I don't think he did. Obviously, his corner chose to pull him out, so that was the decision. But I think a lot of people are not giving him the credit he really deserves. To come from our community, obviously he's won British, he's been to the Olympic Games to start with, he's won British, Commonwealth, European, he's a 2-time world champion, and he's only ever lost to the pound for pound best, who's a very special fighter in Canelo Alvarez, so I think people should give the man some credit really.
I'm going to say, do you think at the minute that it's just Canelo's time and that you're not going to find hardly anyone that's going to be able to give him a test? Because many people are saying for years Billy Joe's will be his toughest test. Is that
in my opinion, I thought in the super middleweight division, I thought the only person what can give him problems, could possibly beat Canelo, would be Billy Joe Saunders. Obviously proved not, so I think he's going to be very, very hard to beat. He's a tremendous fighter.
Coming from the travelling community then, is there a particular fighter you've looked up to? I mean, obviously the main ones, you know, you've got Tyson Fury there who's been leading the way, lineal WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Is he someone that you've sort of looked at for inspiration while you've obviously only a few fights into your career?
I looked up to obviously fighters what's not just in the travelling community, obviously the likes of Floyd Mayweather or Lomachenko or Lem, but from a young kid when Billy Joe Saunders went to the Olympics, Tyson Fury turned pro, they've picked up all the titles on the way. They've showed that us boys can do it if we stick in. As most people know, most of the travelling boys stop boxing when they're like 16, 17. They win numerous amateur titles and just pack in, but now they're seeing what Billy Joe and Tyson's done, and they're carrying on and trying to emulate that. So I think I'll be the next one to come through and win all these world titles as well.
Is your ambition then to win not just a world title, but to do it through different weights and to move up as you naturally get bigger and get that strength in you?
I know it's a big statement, but I don't just want to win one world title. I'd like to possibly be undisputed if I could do that. If not, and I outgrow the weight, then I'm big for super bantamweight, so I could go up a few weights. I'd like to be a multiple weight champion. I'd like to be an elite level pound for pound fighter. I want to be talked about and as being pound for pound best. I don't just see me being a world champion. I see myself going to the very top.
And to do that, you've obviously got to have a good trainer in your corner. Now, Dave Caldwell's trained many a good fighter, and you're sort of next in line as one of the young ones that is training. What's Dave added to your game, when you've made that transition from amateur to pro? What's he sort of shown you where you think, you've brushed upon that or improved on?
No, he's added a lot, really. Obviously, he's got me from scratch. Don't get me wrong, I won numerous titles amateur. And it's a totally different ball game, so he's just given me. He's the most experienced person I could wish for. I couldn't wish for a better trainer. We've been to America, we've been to Dubai. I get the best of sparring, I get the best of training, and we don't do training camps. We just stay in the gym all year round.
Lifestyle,
that's what it is. If I don't box for obviously this fight's been pushed back 5 or 6 weeks, still carrying on staying in the gym because that's valuable time. I'm learning, I'm picking up things, I'm improving as a fighter, so it'll pay off in the long run.
Brilliant. Well, Hopey Price, fingers crossed we get to see you on this bill and they announce a fight for you really soon. And best of luck for the future.
And thank you very much.
Up. No problem.
Hey fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else.